in the middle of today's program, I was actually approached by Manny Gamburyan to come on the show. He said he wanted to talk about a few things. Of course, as you may know, he announced in the cage on Saturday night in Sao Paulo, Brazil, that he was retiring from mixed martial arts. A tremendous career, 35 years young. Currently, the record is 15-10 and 1 no contest. You'll remember that he was a finalist on The Ultimate Fighter Season 5, my favorite season of The Ultimate Fighter. Suffered an injury in the finale against Nate Diaz, fought for the WEC title. Nothing to scoff at, and he wanted to come on. More than happy to give him some time. So we're now being joined by Manny the Anvil Gamburyan. Manny, are you there?
Yes, sir.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Where are you?
I'm in LA.
So you're back home?
Yeah, back home tonight.
I appreciate you coming on. I congratulate you on a fantastic career. I'm sorry to hear that, you've made the announcement, but it sounds, and correct me if I'm wrong, from the night of the fight, the scrums and all that you just feel like your body can't keep up anymore. You've been through so much as a fighter that this was the right time to walk away. Is that accurate?
Yep. And my whole body hurts, and I don't want to wake up limping. I don't want to wake up sore and tired, and it hurts over the years, I guess. Over the years, my body got tired, and I felt like this is the time to retire. I had to turn on this career. It was fun, 25 years for sure.
And was this something that you were planning on saying and doing regardless of the outcome on Saturday?
Nope. I didn't even know. I swear to God.
You just said it.
After I injured my knee, that's the whole point. I want to be on your show. That I want to let him know that it wasn't a punch. It was my knee. I popped my knee out.
In the fight?
In the fight. And I fell on my back, and he started punching me, and Rev stopped the fight.
Wow. And what happened to your knee? Do you have any idea?
If you go on my Facebook page,
okay,
you can check it out. I think it's my ACL or MCL. I'm not sure. I think it's the MCL.
And so is there any possibility that you were just in pain, you were emotional, and that you may not actually be retired? Or do you feel like you're going to stick to this?
As of right now, I am. I feel like it hurts. My body hurts, and it's just, I don't know, man. I don't know. Over the years, training, kind of got me.
And how are you coping with this? Less than 48 hours removed from announcing that you're, all you've known for so many years is MMA fighter, UFC fighter. How are you coming to terms with it?
It's not an easy thing to do. If you're a mixed martial artist, it's the worst day in your career that you're gonna say you're not gonna able to fight again. But it is what it is. I don't want to be a 40-year-old man with major injuries or bad injuries of, I don't know. I already have enough injuries on my back, ankles, shoulders, backs. It's just not fun anymore.
Yeah.
Waking up, like I said, limping all the way downstairs. Sometimes I can't even carry my baby for at least half an hour.
Wow.
Until my body can wake up. Are
you worried about the future?
Not really. It's just the future. It's gonna be different. Do I want to at least be part of someone's life and help him or her get better, or be part of training camps? Maybe not. As of right now, I want to be on a sideline a little bit, for sure.
What do you think you're going to do? Like, how are you going to make a living? What are you going to do in life?
Maybe I want to open up my gym, but not at this exact moment. I want to just be on a sideline a little bit.
No, but are you going to do something completely out of MMA? Try to get a different kind of job, work in a different industry?
We'll see. Maybe. I don't know.
This all happened so fast.
No. It's not so fast. It's just I made a decision in the octagon. I looked at people, and I said, you know what? If I can't get a W
Yeah.
on my best day, what am I doing in the octagon?
And you
I
felt,
can only imagine my worst day.
sure, and you felt like you were on point. You felt like you were in top shape.
I felt great, man. You don't understand how good I felt.
Sure.
I mean, it was without Mike Dolce cutting the weight. My brother Mike Dolce couldn't make it to Brazil. Everyone was kind of worried. Even my wife was worried. Even Batiste was worried. I wasn't worried at all. I said, you know what? I need to be prepared to go to war alone. So I made the weight. I felt great. The early weigh-ins was like something crazy. It was amazing.
Oh, you liked it?
Man, it gives you extra time to recover.
Sure.
It was the best in the world. And so, yeah, it wasn't easy, but it's never easy for me to make 135. You never know. Like I said, never say never. If I ever thought about even coming back, I'll probably come back 44 or 55.
Yeah, and I thought it was interesting in the scrum. Everyone was asking about if you come back. It's weird in combat sports that we can't just take an announcement that someone is retired at face value and just accept it and move on. It's like already we're asking you about your comeback. You just retired. It's strange.
Yeah, as of right now, yeah. I feel like I can't force myself, and I don't want to force myself. And do I love the sport? Not only I love it, I'm obsessed with the sport.
Right.
I've been fighting my last couple of fights with serious injuries, and it's not fair. Like I said, at the end of the day, my body needs rest too. Grinding for 25 years every single day, it's not easy.
Do you leave with your head held high? Are you content? Do you have any regrets?
Regrets is about my last fight right now. I feel like, it was a good first round, and then people thought I got dropped with a punch or a kick or anything like that. It wasn't punch, people, nothing. My knee popped, and he took advantage of it, and they stopped the fight. That's about it.
Right.
Congrats to him. He was a good man. He came and he talked to me, and he was actually kissing my right hand nonstop for like a couple of minutes.
Wow. How nice.
I know I was hitting him hard. I was trying to knock his head out, and he was doing the same thing.
And I have to ask. Go ahead. Sorry.
If anyone wants to look at the replay, they can go on my Facebook page at Manny Gamburyan. .com. They can look at the video that you can even look at in slow motion that I didn't get punched. Nothing. I blew my knee out. I can barely walk.
Do you need surgery?
So much pain. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. We're getting an MRI probably, hopefully, whenever the UFC calls me.
Okay.
I want to get the MRI and we'll go from there.
And you so now that, at least for now, the career is done, you look back. Favorite moment? What's your favorite moment?
Man, I have so many favorite moments. Every time I made weight, I stepped in the cage, octagon. That's my favorite moment. It was always an honor being part of the UFC. It was people's dream to fight in the UFC, and I fought so many times in the UFC. I got used to it. Even though if I ever, like I said, come back, I won't fight anywhere else. It's got to be UFC 100%.
By the way, I have to ask, did you just wake up? You seem like a bit, are you on painkillers or something?
No, I just woke up.
Oh, okay.
I'm kind of numbing. I'm still on São Paulo all the time.
I got you. Well, it was good to catch up. I do appreciate you coming on, Manny, and I congratulate you once again on a great career, a fine career. You have nothing to feel down about, and you gave us some great memories. So kudos to you, my man, and I wish you the best. And I also wish you a speedy recovery.
Thank you, man. Thank you for having me on. I always got my back.
Yeah, for sure. There he is, Manny Gamburyan, announcing his retirement on Saturday in the cage following his loss to Johnny Eduardo. All right, in a few minutes' time, we're still around 15 or so minutes away. We'll be joined by Mark Hunt. But before we get to Mark Hunt, here's some more news for you. Just announced by the UFC Espanol Twitter page, BJ Penn is fighting Yair Rodriguez on January 15th. In Phoenix. BJ Penn versus Yair Rodriguez. Now, we on this show expressed some concern with the matchmaking of BJ Penn versus Ricardo Lamas. That fight did not come to fruition. Now they have matched BJ Penn, who has not won since, I believe, 2011? Against rising star, dynamic striker Yair Rodriguez, who, oh, by the way, is a Jackson's fighter. BJ Penn was at Jackson's. What? Mr. New York Rick? What do we make of that? How that part just occurred to me. I don't think your mic is on.
Oh, it's on.
What is this?
I don't know what to do anymore.
This is a shocking. What is this?
I don't understand. I somehow convinced myself that the Lamas fight wasn't like the worst possible thing they could do.
What is happening
But
here?
I think this is even worse.
Okay, let's play devil's advocate. Is there any part of this that you like?
No. Because Yair is in a spot where beating him doesn't mean much at this point because he's a prospect. He'll bounce back. He's still so young. It's not the type of fight that really does anything for BJ Penn's legacy or really gauges where he is right now. I don't know. I don't know what to say.
So that tweet has now been deleted.
I think they've redone it now.
Oh, so it's still real.
They didn't delete it because all of a sudden BJ Penn pulled back out.
Oh, well,
UFC
okay.
just tweeted it.
They just
11
tweeted it.
seconds ago.
UFC Phoenix lands epic featherweight main event as Hall of Famer BJ Penn battles promising prospect Pantera UFC. That, of course, is Yair Rodriguez. This is just... Look, I have the utmost respect, and BJ recently tweeted something to me where he said, like, oh, you didn't have my back because I made a crack about the BJ Penn website, which I'll say has gotten better, but still, it's better from the dark days. Still not where it needs to be when you are representing a name like BJ Penn. When he lends his name to you, I hold it to a higher standard. That's really all I was saying. But anyway, I don't understand this need to put him in there against killers. Wait a second. Now the UFC tweet is gone. What is going on? They just deleted it on the spot. You see this?
I'm hoping that BJ Penn DM'd them and said, let's hold our horses here. Yeah.
I mean, it's obviously happening. They wouldn't have those snazzy posters made already. This is crazy. Look, we wish him the best. He is a legend. He is the prodigy. I just don't like on paper. This is MMA. This is a sport where you wear 4-ounce gloves. You could punch a guy. He could be done in 10 seconds. I just don't understand. Why not ease him in? Why not? The Dennis Seaver fight was the perfect fight. Now, he may not be available, but why not ease him in? And then when you consider the fact that the great equalizer in all of this was like, okay, those of us who did not want to see him back, I think I speak for all of us, we said, you know what? Part of Jackson's, let's give him the benefit of the doubt. One of the best coaches, best teams in the world. Let's see how he performs. He's now fighting a Jackson's fighter. You understand? So let's say he goes with Jason Perillo, right? Let's say he goes with the Southern California team, the Ruka team. The Jackson team was in the process of remodeling him. You know what I mean? So they now intimately know who BJ is. So not only is he fighting someone who on paper is a young, up-and-coming prospect, undefeated, look fantastic, dynamic, all that stuff and more, he's now fighting against guys who were just with him for several months.
I don't understand.
Crazy.
Is this unprecedented? I can't think of anything like this before, where as somebody who's reaching the tail end of their career is advancing in age, their opponents are getting younger and younger. I've not heard of such a thing. Man. Now, he didn't end up fighting any of them. He didn't fight Seaver. He didn't fight. He's missed Lentz. He's never fought Lentz. He didn't end up fighting Lamas, and now Rodriguez. Who's next?
Cole Miller was in there too.
Yeah, who's after this? How can it get younger? Are they going to get a 20-year-old prospect that nobody's ever heard of?
What are they trying to do? You can have a rejuvenated BJ Penn. You get him one win. You can have a real, all of a sudden and I wanted to talk about this article on the new ownership. This outlet called Fast Company wrote this great. What?
Why did you say it like that?
Is it not called Fast Company?
I know, but this outlet called, like, would you say like this outlet called MMA Junkie had written about?
I don't know Fast Company. Why?
Oh, it's quite well known.
Whatever.
Industry trade.
Okay, industry trade. Look at you, Mr. Industry.
Okay. Anyway, sorry.
Does my audience?
I'm sorry.
What?
It was just weird.
I'm sorry if I don't read
sounded-
Fast Company. I'm
it
not
sounded
pretending
weird.
to be.
It sounded weird.
Okay. Fast Company, as we all know who they are, on equal footing with the likes of GQ, the Pulitzer Prize, and the Nobel Peace Award. They wrote an article, a profile, if you will, on WME IMG, and in particular Ari Emanuel and Patrick Whitesell. And two notable things, in my opinion, and I'll tell you why this relates to BJ. Two notable things from that article that I came away with was, A, they actually finally put a number on Fight Pass. They reported that Fight Pass has 450,000 subscribers, while also reporting that WWE network has a little less than 2 million. Now, I tweeted this and everyone got all offended. I wasn't necessarily comparing the two. I know they offer two different products, but I did think it was interesting, especially since I feel like I'd been led to believe that Fight Pass had more than 450,000. And the other thing, and I'll get your take on that if you want, but the other thing I thought was interesting was it gave us some insight for the very first time into what the new ownership group plans on doing with the UFC. And my takeaway was, they're not necessarily in it to advance the sport, expand the sport, make it more legitimized, as was the case when Lorenzo and Frank Fertitta and Dana White bought the UFC around 16 years ago, and they had a lot more work to do because it was essentially banned all over the world. They had to, run towards regulation and try to get the weight classes sanctioned and all that stuff, and just make it a uniform sport. So obviously they're in a different spot. But my big takeaway was they're going to try to put on, the most outlandish fights, marquee fights, biggest fights possible, regardless of if it makes sense via the rankings, regardless of if it, actual makes sense from a meritocracy standpoint. It's no longer going to be 1 versus 2 and then 3 versus 4, and they're going to work. And I know that's kind of been a shift as of late, but to me, my big takeaway was the sport is changing and it's going to be less sport than ever. That's how I read it. Do you get what I'm saying?
I do, yeah.
They're going to move away. So like them bringing back CM Punk makes sense. Them trying to bring back Ronda makes sense. Them allowing Conor McGregor to do what he wants makes sense. Them exploring Conor McGregor versus Floyd Mayweather makes sense. All this makes sense. BJ Penn fighting makes sense. Not in this kind of fight, but it makes sense. And so I feel like if you're getting frustrated with, and maybe I'm wrong here, that's just the way I read it. If you're getting frustrated with, Khabib not getting a title shot, and I'm just throwing this one out there because he's, him and Ferguson are if you're getting mad about that, I feel like it's going to become the norm, that they're going to go more towards just entertainment, biggest fight possible, that they make the most amount of money possible, Nate Conor 3, which makes no sense at this point, as opposed to, the number one contender, even if he's not a big draw, fighting the champion. You get what I'm saying?
I do, yeah.
Do you agree?
And yes, that was my interpretation of it. They talked about making entertainment events much more so
all that stuff
than anything to do with competitive sport. And to be fair, this is a foray into a larger league, into a very defined sport at this point, whereas the other opportunities that they had been trading in and dealing in before were almost purely like television and fashion and movie entertainment products. So this is, a new realm for that. But yes, it did seem like, the focus on biggest names and brightest lights and those types of things are going to be what kind of drives the product from this point forward.
Is that worrisome?
No,
or have we been moving in that direction already?
I think we've already crossed that threshold. I don't think this is anything that's popping up brand new. I think we were on our way to that.
By the way, totally stealing this from our buddy Sean Sheehan, Artem Lobov versus BJ Penn is the kind of fight they should be making, right?
I think there's 100 guys that we could name that they should be doing, and the last two have been whiffs.
What the heck?
I don't get it.
What's going on here?
I
And
really
also,
don't.
why is he in the? He shouldn't be in the main event. He shouldn't be carrying the card. They got it right the first time.
Well, I'm not going to go that far. If you put BJ against somebody else, put him in the mid. Look,
They got it right the first time, though. The first time was right.
I
Put
know.
him in the FS1
I know.
prelims on a big pay-per-view where the spotlight is completely away from him against a non-Jackson fighter. They got it right the first time, and they've increasingly got it wrong every other. Seaver to Miller was a mistake. Miller to Lamas was a mistake. Lamas to Yair was a mistake or is a mistake.
nah.
I don't see
Disagree.
one per.
Just scrap.
All right.
Plus,
Now
gonna
you're
be,
back.
He's
Now
going to
you're
be plus 1,200, and I'm laying money on it. Let's go.
Now you're back.
I'm back. You know
Wow.
what? Enough with the moping. The prodigy is back. We're gonna do it.
Wow, this is quicker than when I turned on or against Kristaps Porzingis, and then a minute later I was like fully on the bandwagon. This is almost quicker than that.
No, because now everybody's down on it. You know what? Not even one person.
Not
come
even
to
one
his defense.
person.
I'm
You
coming.
need to be the guy.
I'm coming.
Yeah, he needs you right now. All right,
Just scrap. We're doing this.
he needs you now more than ever. How does he win? Come on, tell us.
He's gonna. All right. Yair's gonna throw something crazy, right? Maybe
Yeah.
like a rolling thunder kick.
Yeah,
He's just
okay.
gonna catch it, right? He's gonna take him down. He's gonna work to side control. Maybe a Kimura, and then he's gonna no, because there wouldn't be much blood. Maybe it's a bloody fight. Maybe he gets him in the sub and licks the blood off, and then we got ourselves a big underdog winner, BJ Penn via submission.
There we go. You heard it here first. Don't say we didn't tell you. We're on board here at the MMA Hour.